Hey, what's going on, guys? You're listening to the Ride Life podcast. New episodes drop every single Tuesday at 8 a.m. If you like what you hear, follow us on Instagram at the Ride Life podcast, the Ride Life Brian, or the Ride Life Jim. Stay tuned for the show.
Hey, everybody. Welcome into the Ride Life podcast. Thanks for tuning in here. Remember, Jim, we're live on YouTube now, so you got to put your good face on. But
I don't have
it's
a good face. This is all I
got. Post-Thanksgiving, so that was fun. How was your Thanksgiving, Jim?
It was pretty good. We went up to the in-laws' house, got to hang out with the kids and the grandson and, my wife's grandson. So that was a lot of fun. Ate way too much. Came home, went to bed wicked early. But it's always been like I always have to travel on the holidays. I've never been able to stay home on the holidays ever. So I think Christmas, her and I are going to stay home alone on Christmas. But other than that, I don't think I've ever stayed home on a holiday ever.
Yeah, we stayed home during the day and just ate all day long, and then went to a little get together Thursday on Thanksgiving night. But other than that, pretty much just hung around the house, ate leftovers, ate some apple pie, and dreamed about motorcycles, I guess. What else you gonna do on Thanksgiving?
Yeah, I mean, I was up in kind of your neck of the woods on Friday. It wasn't real motorcycle-y up there.
No. I remember back in the day, on Thanksgiving Day, we used to always go out and play football in the front yard, and we'd even have games set up at one of the local schools where a bunch of kids it would be like the toilet bowl, and we'd come down and play tackle football. I couldn't even imagine. I'd break a leg. You get tackled out there.
And it wasn't. It wasn't real good weather. It poured. I mean, it poured and it poured and it poured all day. I don't know up by you if you saw all rain or you saw some snow, but I know there was some snow west of you.
Yeah, I didn't see any snow. I was hoping for some snow, but it's looking like we're gonna get some snow maybe next week. So whatever. It's wintertime.
It is.
Building
you can
bikes.
run the machine soon.
It is what it is.
Yeah. Hey, I just got to tell you this because it was just kind of weird. So, when you're coming up through Franconia Notch, Loon Mountain comes up first. And What is that, about 15 miles short of the Notch?
Yep.
Loon still had grass on it. I could still see green. When I got to Whaleback, completely covered and people were skiing, it was wide open.
Huh.
Which is weird. Now it's a lot bigger than Whaleback.
Yeah. Oh, I know, right? But now that it's cold all day and really cold at night, they're going to be pumping out the snow. They're going to be making snow. You'll be skiing. I haven't gone skiing, and I can't even remember the last time I went skiing. You?
Last time I went skiing, I went to Mount Snow in Vermont by myself.
By yourself?
Yeah, because I used to have like a random Wednesday off and nobody's off in the middle of the week. So I just drove. It wasn't that far. I was only about an hour from Mount Snow, about maybe an hour and a half.
Right. Welcome to my world. Everybody's working. I'm sitting home staring at the bikes in the garage. Friggin'.
Yeah, I know.
All right. So what do we got tonight, Jim? We got a good episode.
Me so much at this age.
Yeah. Well, it's not too bad, I guess.
You brought something up to me. That I didn't even know was a thing, and I started doing a little bit of research, and now I guess I really missed it. There's rumors of a new Orange County Choppers show coming out.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. I spend most of my time on YouTube just watching videos, and I saw something with Paul Sr. Oh, no. It started off as St. Pete Bike Fest. So I guess in St. Petersburg, where Barracuda Harley Davidson is, the OCC Roadhouse is, they have a bike fest, which is, I think it's just a 4-day event. And Cycle Drag was down there filming, putting out videos. and he went backstage and was talking to Tuttle Senior, and they were talking about this OCC, the next chapter. So I think what it's going to be, it's not. I don't really think they're going to be building bikes for customers, for say, but I think they're going to be. It's like a reality show. It's going to be him on his farm, him in the shop, putting out bikes, him hanging out at Barracudas, him at the Roadhouse cooking burgers. Maybe I think it's more of a reality show, or more of a reality show than the original OCC. So who knows? I might watch it. I was never a huge fan of the OCC bikes. I just liked watching it because it was motorcycle related. So I'll probably watch it, see how it is. But I have no idea where it comes out on. If it's going to be on YouTube, if it's going to be on actual cable or Paramount or whatever. So the only thing I can find is it's coming out in 2025. So we're getting close to 2025. So we'll keep an eye out for that. But anyways, the St. Pete's Bike Fest, Jim, that could be something. That's in November. That could be something we cruise down for the weekend.
That's in November. That's a truck trip for sure. St. Pete is what, outside of Tampa?
Yeah, it's on the Gulf side of Florida, so
yeah,
it's always warm over there.
Yeah, I mean, I'll tune into the show. I'm curious to go see the dealer and kind of see what he has going on kind of next door or whatever. If it's just purely a reality show and not really about bikes, I don't think it'll hold my attention very much. Like you, I watch the show religiously, but you would see some pretty cool stuff. I mean, even though the bikes themselves you weren't really a fan of, like the way that they would weld certain things or the way they manufactured certain things, or the process was always pretty cool, I always really liked that part of the show. The drama and all the other stuff is kind of what killed it.
But I guess Mikey is going to be on, so it'll be Senior, Mikey, and then Rick Petco. Remember him? He'll make some appearances, I think. And, and his wife Joni, and this other new guy Jim. I don't know. He must work for OCC now. But
yeah, maybe
it'll be interesting.
So it looked like it looked like there was a show that came out last year. I don't know anything about it. I'm gonna after we get off of this thing, I'm gonna look it up and see what that's all about.
I don't know what that. I think was that no. Maybe when Junior and Senior were like mending things up or something. I don't know. All right, that's enough OCC talk, by the way. That's
But anyways, that's St. Pete's. I'd be down for that. I love Florida.
Yeah.
I love Florida.
Plus, I'd like to go to Barracuda Harley Davidson. I like visiting different Harley dealers because around here we got the normal few, which are pretty cool. Manchester, Laconia. Laconia is a good dealership. They got some good performance stuff, cool bikes, cool parts. But then you go down to Florida, you got Teddy Morse's HD, which is supposedly was the world's largest Harley Davidson at one point, but I think it's been overtaken. Not sure by who. And some dealers are definitely better than others.
I mean, you got to go to Burt's. I feel like Burt's, the dealer itself is like almost a celebrity now, with all the stuff they put out on Instagram. They have really solid marketing and stuff. They put out some really funny videos and that.
Yeah.
What I like about those guys though is I see like they do a lot of different stuff. So they're not just selling new bikes and bikes that are a couple years old. I mean, they'll take your trade in for $2,000 and sell it like as is for $2,300 or something like that. So you can go down there and get some pretty good deals on some quote unquote mechanic specials or whatever.
Yep.
And I like that. You don't see that at a lot of dealers.
No, you don't. It's all new bikes
up here. At least in our region up here, most of the dealers are kind of the same. I would say Laconia is definitely the cream of the crop.
Yeah, I agree.
They all have bikes, right? They all have good bikes. I'm getting a 50% off coupon site wide for First Manufacturing. That just
The
came in on
Black
my phone
Friday
right now.
deals
I'm
are
like, what is this?
ridiculous. So, yeah,
I
well, the
know.
Black Friday deals are ridiculous. I got sucked into ordering more Thrash and Supply parts for the Dyna. I ordered what else? I have my inbox on my email is filled with confirmed orders, like from Thrash
There
and
you go.
Supply. I got I got a new wheel and tire package coming for the F-150. I mean, that sounds, like it's an easy decision, right? Fuck no, dude. I have looked at over hundreds of wheels to try to figure out the best, stance and blah 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 for the F-150. I mean, I've had that F-150 for a while now, so new wheels and tires is gonna revamp it. So I want it to look good. They're gonna be black wheels because it's a red truck, and I got polished aluminum ones on there now. So I kind of want to go back to the black. I think red and black just goes together. So I found some wheels. Right, this is a whole story. You just hold on a second here. After a couple days of searching on this friggin' customoffsets.com, I finally find some wheels that I like. So 20 by 9s with a 0 offset. It'll be perfect. They're not going to stick out. They're going to look good. And then you got to find tires. So I find a tire. Read all the reviews. These tires are loud. These tires suck. They last about 20,000 miles. All right, I got to go back. I got to find another tire. Find another tire. It's out of stock. I'm like, you got to be. So finally, I find a wheel. I find a tire. I get the package together. I order it. Right? I forget what happened. Something happened where I was like, it was more money than I thought. So I emailed them. I said, hey, I don't know if something went wrong, something got added on, whatever. But what's up with the price? And he comes back and said, oh, everything looks good on that package. It might have been the shipping, to cover the shipping insurance. It's like, oh, okay, all right, whatever. And then he's like, unfortunately, the wheels you ordered look like they're back ordered and they're
Oh,
not making them anymore. Like the company discontinued them. So I'm like, okay, then why was I able to, purchase them? He's like, give me a few days. I'm going to call the manufacturer up, blah, blah, blah. So now I'm thinking I'm not going to get those wheels. So now I'm back to stage one where I'm looking for wheels through hundreds of wheels again. I'm like, at this point, I'm like, I'm not even going to buy wheels and tires. The truck is just going to stay the same. Screw it. Get an email back from them. Great news. You got the last set from the manufacturer of those wheels in that color. I'm like, I told the guy, are you trying to stress me out? Because this is what you're doing to me. This is, I'm binge eating apple pies and cranberry sauce, waiting for this email. So, all right, so it's fine. The wheels are coming finally. So they'll be here December 11th or something. So I'm gonna new wheels and tires for the F-150 are coming along. So it's what a damn process. So that's one of my orders in my inbox. And then Thrash and Supply had to throw a Black Friday sale. I bought $150 worth of stuff for the Dyna. And then what else? Let me look. I gotta look in there. I can't forget. There's so many orders.
I know. I almost just ordered a vest while we were sitting here.
Oh, from First Manufacturing.
Yeah.
Yeah, those vests are pretty good.
Oh,
I like the vest I
it.
got.
Which one do you have? Which model do you have? I know it's leather.
Um, I can't remember. They have these custom ones that they have. They like every. I don't know what they do, but they make custom order ones that you can buy on the
Yep.
site, and they only stick around for like 6 months or something until they're sold out. So
Yep.
I got one of those. It's got like the lattice up top.
Oh,
It's
okay.
not full leather. It's like a denim on the back. So
So they got
then I got
like I don't like the ones with the like pockets with the flaps. I like the The like zip pockets. Is yours a zip or a button?
A button in the front.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's got 2 buttons on the front. Zip. But Thrashing Supply's got a cool
This is like
vest too,
dirt
but
cheap.
they're not 50%. 50%. I know that's
Oh
where
no,
First Manufacturing gets you. They're cheap.
it's got the ties on the side though. I don't want the ties on the side.
Oh, come on. Yeah, you can't have that. But I got an order
I
coming
like the
from.
way it looked till.
All right, well, do your shopping after the podcast, buddy. We're trying
I
to talk.
can't now. I'm all in. I'm all in on. They had to text me.
Well, you're on YouTube now. Come on, face the camera. Let's
I know,
go.
I gotta get it together. I gotta get it together.
Jesus Christ. So I got an order coming from Night Owl Rides.
Look.
He came out with a new T-shirt.
Nice.
Yeah, I see it. I like it. So
anyway, sorry. Go ahead. I just derailed this whole program. You got a new T-shirt coming from Night Owl Rides.
Nobody cares about your shopping. Do your shopping after the podcast. Jesus. Yeah, new T-shirt coming from Night Owl Rides. So he came out with a new design, and it's pretty cool. He's got black and maroon, so I picked the maroon because I got sick of black T-shirts, so I got that. And speaking of that, he makes me think that we might be having our logo. So we're going to do a new logo. It's still going to look like this, but it's going to be modernized, more custom. So it's going to be very similar to the logo we have now, but it's going to have a couple different little things. The FXR is going to be changed a little bit. Still going to be an FXR. So we're going to have new stickers coming soon. We might even do some new T-shirts if anybody's interested.
Yeah, and we're going to probably set up a merch store like he has too.
Yeah, and I don't know. I don't know. I think we're just going to get a few T-shirts at first. Give some to our buddies and just have a few T-shirts, and then we'll see. If we get some demand, we'll look into a merch store. But don't be getting ahead of yourself, Jim. Come on. Jeez.
Well, the thing about the merch store is that it doesn't really cost us anything up front.
Yeah, I know.
It's basically commission based, so it's like it's just there, and if people buy it, they buy it, and if they don't, they don't. So, well, whatever.
Well, that's another thing we'll talk about after the podcast. Jeez. So, well,
listen, all these things come back around.
I know, but all these arguing and watching you drink friggin' 5 Bud Lights already, and so we're gonna have to jump right into the segment of what are you drinking in the garage. What?
Oh, that's only my second one.
All right.
I was good today. I didn't drink at all until just now.
Oh, that's good. Great. So let's just jump right into the segment. I got another beer from the same Moat Mountain Brewing Company that I had last week, but this is a different one. So this kind of reminds me of summer, which I don't really want to drink yet because I'd like to save this until like January, February when we're snowed in. But this is Moat Mountain, Mrs. V's Blueberry Ale, right? So, I'm telling you, I'm a big fan of Moat Mountain. Anything they do, good stuff. Oh, that's good. That's light. That's definitely a summer beer. Very light, brewed with natural flavors. And this is 4.9% alcohol. Is that good, Jim? I don't really know. You're the drinker, not me.
4.9. That's pretty average. I think your Bud Lights are like 4.1 or something. I don't know. It's right here. I got one right here.
You got a Bud? Shocker. Bud Light.
What are they? I don't know what they are. They're light though. I like. That's the thing. I actually really like the taste of beer, so I don't really drink it to get drunk. I just really like the taste of beer. So, but these Bud Lights, whatever. They're like 4 point something.
All right. Well, what's your specialty beer tonight, Jim? What are you drinking in the garage?
I got a beer. So I almost went with another Nantucket because they got some that look really good. But I sticking with the local theme. I went with a beer from Wormtown, brewed in Worcester. Apparently, Worcester is Wormtown, which I don't know where that comes from. All
Huh.
right. So
I thought it was the City of
Worm,
Hills.
Wormtown Brewery. This is a little bit different for me. First of all, it's 6% alcohol.
Oh boy.
I've got the Blizzard of 78.
Ooh. Let me see that.
Wormtown, the Blizzard of 78.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, I saw it and I was like, all right, that's it. So it's an English style brown ale, which is different for me. And it says ale with coffee beans added. And all of these beers are like, they come as pounders, which is a little dangerous, but whatever. So I don't know. So it's a little bit different. I'm always looking for like the light ales or the white ales, but I saw Blizzard of 78 and I says, I got to try it. We were alive for them, but neither one of us remembers it.
Yeah. All right. So while you're sampling, really, I love a coffee porter. I'll tell you about that after you give us your little review.
Reminds me a lot of a Guinness. It's good though. I couldn't drink a lot of them, but it's good.
Yeah.
It's definitely like very full flavored. Definitely tastes the coffee, but it reminds me a lot of a Guinness.
Nice. So
Wormtown, Blizzard 78. Check it out when you're sitting by your fireplace.
I am sitting right by the pellet stove right now. Nice and warm down here. But I stumbled across this beer one time. It was from Evil Genius was the brewery. And it was Purple Monkey Dishwasher was the name of the beer. And it was like a coffee porter. It was really good. And I don't know if I could. I'm going to try to find them for next week's video because I would like to drink another one of those. They had a bunch of good, funny brand, funny names and stuff. So it was pretty cool beer, but they actually tasted good. So.
Yeah, I used to hang out with this girl, Erica, and she went to Amherst and then she lived out there. So we used to go out there to the brewery. They have a pretty good brewery in Amherst. But anyways, long story short, she got me trying like real beers and like I had a chocolate stout and that was really good too.
Yeah. Like a porter and a stout. I kind of like those. Like you said, maybe one. You can't drink many of them.
Yeah. Yeah. So I feel like this is heavier than Guinness. Guinness is way lighter than anybody who's never had a Guinness. They're much, much lighter than they look. They look like it's going to sit like a ton of bricks in your stomach.
Yeah. I don't know if I've ever had a Guinness or not. I mean, I might have to get a Guinness over here. Now, is a Guinness a thing you have to have as a draft or can you do a can?
So they have a can and it's got like a little ball in it. You're supposed to drink it warm, but most cases around here, you're not going to find it warm unless you go out and buy it and you just leave it. So you might like it. I actually like Guinness and I like, all the light ales, but it's pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
Listen, I want to tell you this story because it came up this week. It popped into my head.
Are we done with the beer review? That's it. Music, outro. We're done with the beer. All right.
Done with
your story.
Listen, Blizzard of 78 and check it out. So I told this story before on this podcast. So I'm not going to retell the story about how my buddy was buying a bike and I ran into the old Sportster that I owned and it was for sale. So when I had my Street Bob, I got a random phone call from the place where I bought it. And they were like, hey, listen, this guy that owned the bike before wants to give you a call and try to buy the bike back. He really wants the bike back. And I was like, well, I really don't want to sell the bike. Like, I love it. Like, I love that bike. But I'm like, you know what? He can call me. So he calls me. We talked for a little bit. And he's like, yeah, he just telling me I had that bike. But I went with, I think it was a Street Glide. And he's like, but I miss my bar hopper. I really want my bar hopper back. So I was like, well, listen, the bike's really not for sale. But if you want to get stupid, everything's for sale. So I paid him. So I was like, listen, I wanted like 12, 13,000 for it or whatever. It was already like a 5-year-old Street Bob, And he's like, no. So I was like, all right, whatever. So like a year and a half goes by and I'm like, I'm working. The guy's like, hey, I I really want to buy that. He calls me again. I really want to buy that bike. I'm like, listen,
A year
bike's
later?
not for sale. A year and a half later.
Jesus.
And he was like, yeah, I really want to buy that bike. And I said, listen, it's been about, I want 11,000 for it or something. I don't want to sell the bike. If you're going to buy it, you got to pay. And he's like, no. So I traded in. I ended up trading it. I kind of forgot about this guy, to be honest with you. I traded it in on the Street Glide, and like 6 months goes by, and he calls me again. He's like, hey, man, I really want to buy that bike. I'm like, yeah, it's gone.
That's all right. You probably should have called him.
Yeah. No, I should have, because I obviously would have got more than traded. Like, even if he, I forget what I got for it or whatever. I will say this. I bought my bike from Manchester. They were pretty good to deal with.
They make you ring the bell after you bought it.
I'm like, yeah, the wife went and rang the bell. I'm like, I'm not ringing the fucking bell, but I mean, they were good, I like shit. Good. I like shit like they do, like they have somebody from parts come over and like kind of took me through parts, and like, if you need accessories, here's where they are. They take you through the place, and the woman from like the motor close, but here's what you got. Here's where we keep all our clearance shit. I did kind of like that part of it, even though I wasn't. We ended up getting a pair of sunglasses or something, but I liked that they took me through the dealer after. Like, if you ever need stuff, here's where you can look for it, and you can talk to this guy or this woman or whatever. But I got a good deal. I mean, I paid $14 or $13,900 for that bike, and 3 years later they were selling for $15 and change.
Huh. Yeah. I can't even relate, because I can't remember the last time I even bought a bike from the dealership. So I'm out of the loop there.
Yeah. Well, 2003 probably.
I think you're right. That's the first and last bike that I bought. But my next new bike is going to be from, I don't know what dealer, but it's going to be a Lowrider ST. But hey, all I know is
that's the thing, like
89 days.
89. Are we doing this? Lagging. We just can't make it to January. We can't make it to January 1st.
No, 89 days till I leave for Daytona. So that's all I'm thinking about these days.
Yeah.
But hey, I'm trying to get to it. I would buy a new bike at Teddy Morse's Harley Davidson down in Daytona. I mean, that would be a cool place to buy a new bike. I mean, you would think you'd get a pretty good deal because there's bike week specials, but who knows?
So somebody told a friend of mine, don't go buy a bike during Laconia Bike Week because they jack the prices up.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how true that is. I mean,
oh, there he is.
No, I'm here. We got a delay, so there's a delay happening.
Yeah, you froze for a second. But it's weird because I've been over at Laconia Harley Davidson during Bike Week. You've been there too. I don't feel like their prices are jacked up at all. I think that's just kind of a bullshit thing that people say because they're not really educated on it.
Yeah, I don't think, because I mean, I've seen bikes there and I saw the prices. I was thinking, heck, if I was in the market, I'd be buying this bike right now. But so you got to think they got to have good deals during Bike Week. That's like their biggest week. So why would they jack up the prices and not sell anything? Or why would?
Yeah,
I don't.
You think there's really people going there that are like going to be taken advantage of? Honestly, like out of the crowd, out of however many thousand people go, like out of every 1,000 people, like there's probably a half a person that's totally clueless and will just, you know what I mean? Like most people that go are pretty well informed.
Totally cool with
spending that amount of time to go. They're informed. They know like what the prices are. They know what things cost and that. They're not going to go to the dealer and get raked over.
This is good for the video version. So, while we wait for Jim to reconnect, we're going to talk about, I don't even know. Where'd he go? Well, I hope everybody had a good Thanksgiving. I know I feel like I've gained 10 pounds, but doesn't matter. I've eaten pretty much a whole apple pie by myself. And lots of cranberry juice, not juice, cranberry jelly, and turkey. Not so much. I'm not a fan of the turkey, but the stuffing, mashed potatoes, peas, corn. That's where it's at. Biscuits. Oh my god, I'm making myself hungry again. So, Jim is gone from the app. It's just me, and I don't know. I'm still recording. We're having major issues here. Oh boy. And we're back, I think. We're back from the technical difficulties there. Holy crap, what the hell happened?
I don't know. The whole like internet went down in the house. It was weird. Everybody was on a panic. Oh my god, I can't play my video games. But I just I restarted the router and got it fired up. But it's been a little bit, so it's kind of lost our steam. But
Yep.
we'll come back full force, anyways.
Yeah, so, well, I think your internet's still a little spotty over there, so let's just, I don't know. Yeah, we were talking about getting ripped off at Bike Week during Bike, but we're going to pick up with that next week, and I'm hoping we have a guest for next week, so we're going to come back next week strong. Might have a guest, might have a third face on the YouTube video, and yeah, we're going to go from there. But while Jim is still not frozen, we're gonna wrap it up here, boys. Thanks for listening to the Ride Life podcast. Go check us out on Instagram. Check us out on YouTube now. And yeah, what do you think, Jim?
Yeah, check us out, man. Ride Life Podcast on Instagram. Go subscribe to the Ride Life Podcast on YouTube, the Ride Life Brian on Instagram, and the Ride Life Jim.
Yeah, and hey, if anybody get good Black Friday deals, tell me about them. I could always buy more parts. Or if you have that one part that you're not sure of, let me know. I'll convince you to buy that part because I'm sure you need it.
Yeah, I'm sure you do. Even if you don't own the bike yet.
Yeah,
you need
right.
that part.
We know someone like that buys parts for bikes he doesn't even own yet. That was me. I remember. All right, I know we were supposed to wrap it up, but I remember when my dad wouldn't let me buy a dirt bike when I was younger. I had bought these grips and I think handguards for this magical bike that didn't even exist. But I did end up using. They were Scott. Remember the brand Scott gloves?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I think they were like black and pink, and I was like, I loved them. And I did finally get to use them on some bike, but it wasn't the bike I had in my dreams.
Weren't those Scott like waffle grips like all the rage? Like those were the ones.
Fuck yeah, definitely. They it was like the 80s, so they were all neon colors and stuff. So
yeah.
Yep.
I like watching those old motocross videos. Those are sweet.
Yeah, I swear I could go to sleep listening to two strokes just ripping through the desert or ripping through trails. It's the best sound. I watched a video of Jeremy McGrath, and he was riding a KX500, right? So I click on this video thinking I'm going to hear this KX500, and it's literally him riding with music in the background, and I'm like, you got to be kidding me. And then I go to the comments, and everybody agrees, like, who the hell puts up a video of a KX500 and doesn't let it, hear the sound of it? So
I think you got to check out Travis Pastrana. He's got a bunch of them.
Yeah, I love watching all those videos. So,
all right, man, let's wrap it up. We'll see everybody next Tuesday.
See you next Tuesday.